What is going on, guys? In this video I'll be going over the KTM X-Bow GT4 Raw Edition, which is basically going to be another version of the regular GT4, but this one's actually in the Motor Pass. So in order to get it, you will actually have to buy the Motor Pass and hit level 37 to get it, which it does take a little time to level up the pass, but luckily there's still 43 days left, and doing all the dailies will get you one full level a day, plus the weekly challenges are literally 8 levels a week, which is pretty awesome. So getting max level in the pass is normally really easy on the Crew 2. So I'm sure a lot of players are going to be wondering, is the KTM X-Bow GT4 actually worth getting? Because we can admit one thing, the other two Motor Pass vehicles like the Camaro and the BMW were just not the greatest vehicles out there, but at least we have the Proto Lucky one, which funnily enough is the only free one in the pass, and I'd even go as far as saying this is the best vehicle to get in the pass, and this is well worth going after compared to everything else. And if you guys might have been wondering, there is not much you can do to this vehicle when it comes to customization either. All you can actually do is change the livery and or put one on there if you guys like to make one, and you can also do vanity items as well to the vehicle, but besides that there really isn't much of anything else because, well, this thing's obviously already insanely customized. I think it does look really cool. I do like how they designed it. I really do like the color, the orange. It's a very cool looking vehicle, but the big question is it actually usable? Will players actually pick this thing over the Renault or the Lamborghini? I just honestly don't think so, but at least we have a new car we can use, and we all know the KTMs are obviously going to be really good in other classes, but I do think in the touring car class there's other cars you can use that are going to be better. Anyway, guys, let's go do a top speed run with the new KTM, and then let's take it into a race to really see what it can do and how it actually compares to some of the best touring cars in the game. Now, arriving outside with the new KTM GT4, we can all agree that they did a really good job with the design of this car. I mean, the overall color and how this thing actually looks, I really am digging it, even more than the regular GT4. Let's take a listen. Now, just in case you guys might have been wondering, the interior in the Raw Edition is basically exactly the same as the regular GT4. The biggest thing is you can actually see out of this car in first person mode, which is pretty awesome. Now, let's go do the top speed run with the new KTM just to see what this car can actually get to before jumping into a race to test it out. So I will go over the shifting and why that can be an issue on these vehicles in the race, though, because I feel like a lot of people might be wondering why that might be an issue. Now, let's see what this car can actually get to. So a lot of the touring vehicles I noticed can do like 240 to 250 or so. The Renault RSO 1 does like 258 or something like that, so obviously that car is going to be way up there. Having a car with the top speed is going to be insanely useful. So right now, 252 miles an hour is going to be maxed out on the KTM, which honestly got there pretty fast. This car didn't seem to struggle in really any way at all, and it got right up to speed pretty good. But the biggest issue I see with this car is when racing it on a track, I noticed the overall speed and acceleration with turns is going to be a bit of an issue. Let's jump into that right now. So jumping into the race test with the new GT4 Raw Edition, so there's a few things I wanted to go over with this vehicle and why I don't think it's going to be used that often and or honestly that great in general. So we all know the regular GT4 really wasn't a bad car at all. I just feel like it had that really big issue with speed when shifting. I honestly have never seen really anyone use the car at all anyway, and I feel like unfortunately this car is going to be in that category. I don't really want to say this right now, but I think everyone will probably agree with me in the comments below and or in general. I would say the best Motor Pass car is going to be the Proto Lucky one, and the other three are just not that great in general. I don't think anyone's really going to be using them. The Proto Lucky one's the one free car in the past, and that thing is just absolutely incredible. So the main reason why I want to go over this car was because, well, I don't see myself using this vehicle in the future, but if you guys would like me to do future videos and or use this thing in summits and stuff like that, I can definitely try it out to see what it can do. But I just feel like the shifting delay on this vehicle and the overall speed just doesn't seem to be that great. Now, I obviously have been running the Renault a lot, and now I actually switched over to the Koenigsegg CC-GT, which I've been loving that car. Again, that thing even hits like 260 miles an hour as well. This thing does 252, but depending on the race you're doing, the top speed really doesn't matter all that much because you really need to get in and out of the turns. I noticed that KTM just seems to struggle slightly with getting in and out of these turns, and well, it does turn very well because honestly, every single KTM in this game turns insanely well. I mean, we can all agree that all the X-Bows are amazing. The ones in the Alpha GP class really shock me, honestly, on how good they actually are. Probably the best in the game still, and obviously the new one that was added into the hypercar class is also insanely fun to drive. But honestly, the touring car ones are just not that great. I don't feel like anyone's going to actually use these. Now, could this car actually be used in summits and or competitive racing? I'm sure it could probably be used on them, but is anyone going to actually drive this thing? I just don't think so, although it does look really cool. I love the color design on it, how this thing actually looks, but the overall performance, I just feel like there's other cars that are better, which I do think that'll be a bit of an issue trying to pick this thing over those. I'm sure many people are kind of reluctant on getting the motor pass in general. And to be honest, a lot of the cars in this motor pass are not that great, what I've been noticing, but at least the Proto Lucky 1 is amazing, so that car is definitely well worth going after. Is the KTM worth getting? Well, to be honest, if you guys like collecting all the cars, I would recommend getting the pass just for that, so you guys have a lot of cars to choose from and like drive around. Like, you could use this thing on going after the stories and or cruising around still. It's very fun for that, but competitive racing, I feel like there's definitely better options to go after. I mean, the KTM just isn't that great overall, but luckily this car looks really cool and I do love the overall design of it, but there's definitely better options to use when doing like summits and all that. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Here are the settings I'm currently running on my KTM X-Bow that I honestly think are really good and help this car turn very well. Although this thing is flawed, it's still insanely fun to drive. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments below again on the motor pass. Do you guys really like it? What are some things you don't? And do you plan on using this KTM in the future?